Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to go over how to get gold heads in Rise of Kingdoms, including some of the more efficient ways that I'll talk about, as well as some of the less efficient ways that I will talk about. There's also a lot of different levels of spend friendliness here. There's a lot of free-to-play ways, there's a lot of spending ways. So let's begin. First, I'm just going to talk quick about some of the stuff that aren't directly universal heads, such as Mighty's Governor events that can give specific commanders based on what you select and what rank you get. And then obviously with that comes the Wheel of Fortune, which, is very random, but it has somewhat fair probabilities of estimating heads. It does have gold heads, but it's a little bit rarer to get those compared to normal commander heads. And then obviously something I'll just talk brief about because I've talked about it so many times is VIP. VIP gives you 1 gold head a day at VIP 10, 2 gold head a day at VIP 12, and 3 at 14 and on. I am reluctant to leave this because I'm very curious if this guy will get imprisoned, because this flag's getting close to burnout and he's still here. So I'm going to try and stay here for a little bit longer in the video, or at least till he teleports out, because I'd love to have a 0 in the background. That'd be pretty neat. But yeah, so with those set of VIP, of Mighty's Governor, and the Wheel, there's the other concept here, which is knowing the VIP shop exists, right? And I think for this, unfortunately, I will leave and I will show this. Maybe I'll just save it so I can come back. But you take a look at the VIP shop, right? And what you'll see is down here for VIP 13s, which are a lot of players, you can actually get gold commander sculptures for only 2,000 gems. And yes, I say only, right? And that sounds a little ridiculous. But the reason it's not a bad deal in a way is because of more than gems, right? And with that said, this is just a little screen grab of the rewards that you can see. You can get 13 total gold heads each day for 2 days. So it's 26 gold heads for just spending gems, right? So what that means you can do is you can go here, you can spend, 50,000 gems in gold heads here and get 25. Well, actually, it depends on when the more the gems hits, because you can only get 20 max here. But you get 20 gold heads here and get 25 for just spending the gems in the more than gems, or 26 rather. So that kind of lets you double up on your value. And, in addition to that, we also have other really good events besides more than gems, like 20 gold head events. So what are 20 gold head events? They are events, not Mighty's Governor, it's different, but like from the ground up. So these are events where you use speed ups and you can get gold heads based on your ranking, the top one getting this. This specific one from the ground up is obviously building speeds. It's kind of self-explanatory. But what they also have is a tech one where you spend speed ups on tech. They have a training one. They also have one for using all types of speeds, where it just does all your minutes at once. And then they also, lastly, I believe, there's not another type besides Game of Power, which is just gain power to get points. So all these events can be good ways to cash in on timing your upgrades, timing things, right? Like I could have planned a tech, let's say, which I did for some things. If it was Game of Power, I could have planned, let's say I was opening tier 5 and I was some crazy whale, right? You may want to plan this finishing, or plan 2 use speed ups to finish this on Game of Power, because it'll come after Mighty's Governor every time, or one of these will, right? So these are just the things that you want to think about and ways to combo your potential gold head advantage here. So there's also just a lot of different things, like for instance, Alliance Mobilization has some. Arc of Osiris is, one of the most popular events for this, where you can get all these gold heads, right? Even just for silver, you can get 5 guaranteed pretty much. But, and KVK, right? KVK rewards, fighting, and KVK, all these things give gold heads. But in talking about what can you actually guarantee yourself, you also have the Lucerne, where I believe they have at least, they have 4 here, and this is for $5. This is not free. So there's 2 here, so this is 6 now, right? Here I can show off what I was talking about earlier, because this account is high VIP. You can see there's 20 of them at 2,000 a pop. And then lastly, I just want to mention Writer of Histories, which is when you unlock a commander, you get offered a $5 bundle for 10 gold heads. Additionally, you also can do recharges, right? When you buy bundles, you often have a recharge based on holidays and seasonal events that will give you gold heads and speed ups and other items and materials for spending during that time period. So these are just all things you want to look at, Game of Power and all these things depending on your kingdom and kingdom age and matchmaking goals, as well as spending and timing your spending. All these are things that if you time it right, if you plan it right, you can really compound your growth and compound the amount of gold heads you have. because it really is impactful. I only really have a chance at getting this Meta Commander done by KVK fighting for me because I've been getting 3 a day and doing all my events and wheels and planning it pretty thoroughly. So these are just the things you want to be doing as well. And, that's how you get the best value for your account, your money, and your time invested. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe. I come out with daily content. If you have any ideas or questions or things you'd like to see me, answer or do leave a comment so I can address that either in the comment or in a longer form video. I actually did that in one of the earlier weeks of my creations with someone asking about avoiding burnout, and I devoted an entire video to them and then linked it back to them in the comment. And I'm more than happy to do this for any of you. So leave that comment, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.